to correct the fees figures. The PS for Higher Education, Dr. Beatrice Nyangala, says the move is aimed at allowing the universities to indicate the fees expected at the household level as opposed to the entire amount, including the funding from government. This decision made at the insistence of MPs who faulted the ministry for issuing the letters with the huge amounts that discouraged students from taking up the courses. Brenda Wanga now reports on the ministry's pledge to also review the criteria used for determining financial aid issued to students.
The Ministry of Education, appearing before the National Assembly's Education Committee,
Good morning, my name is Rose Wanjohi, Clerk Assistant attached to this committee,
was taken to task over a myriad of issues touching on the placement of students in institutions of higher learning and their funding.
This question goes to the CEO, COPS. There has been a scenario where most students don't apply for university courses and they prefer to apply for the Kenya medical programs. What are you doing about it so that there is a balance?
A new model of funding of higher education was placed under scrutiny, with the legislatures questioning the criteria used by the university education funding to place students in different bands for the issuance of scholarships and loans.
Did we as a country rush into this new funding model? Many children of peasant farmers in this country are claiming that the DUC model, the differentiated unit cost that was initially there, is working better than the current new funding model.
The new model that now prioritizes a student's financial needs and separates placement from funding. The cost of the course taken is also taken into consideration, and this has resulted into universities issuing admission letters with the entire cost of the course. This MP's content has led to students dropping courses on account of the cost.
We are being given information that students are being forced to choose university courses they can afford under the new funding model rather than what they qualify for, because of the money involved. So that we're in a situation where students are being placed in programs they can afford rather than what they qualify for. So, Madam PS, I want you to face the nation.
Where are these 47,000 students? Is it that they were scared because of the fee performance that were issued to them? Because, Madam Chair, 47,000 students not availing themselves for university, when you know these are boys and girls who are so eager to learn, so eager to take a course. I don't imagine that all these went to private schools, to private universities. I can't imagine that all these went to TVETs. Something somewhere must have happened that resulted into them not applying.
The MPs have now instructed the ministry to act immediately.
Withdraw the letters, have the admission letters with the household fees to the parent before the students now report in September. So between now and maybe 1 month to come,
I will direct universities to withdraw the letters.
The ministry at the same time decried the financial constraints that has seen it go without getting the full funding for higher education for last year. The government is yet to release 29 billion shillings of the 102 billion budgeted for higher education. And the ministry says the impact of these delays are far-reaching, not just for the universities, but for the students as well.
In scholarship, loans and loans disbursements also affect the students who depend on the funds for purposes of their upkeep when they're in school.
The ministry has also pledged to review the criteria used to place students into the different bands for financial aid. The ministry says this has been associated after reviewing how the model has performed in the last 1 year. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.